ESL Prime League Season 4. We are in the playoffs, and this is the first game that we are going to have for you. We're going to have 2 series, but starting out with this one here, this player spawning in the southwestern point of Expedition Lost. He represents Root. His name is Hydra.
And his Proton's opponent, repping the pink colors on the top right of Expedition Lost, it is Patience. And he used to represent, what was it, Alien Technologies, and I don't know who he's...
I think Dead Pixels here for Patience.
Yeah, Dead Pixels, that's right, my bad. Yeah.
You think you're an Alien Invasion, I think.
Alien Invasion, that's right. Alien Technologies. Yeah, no, he used to
Alienware.
You know all the alien computer stuff going on. But a 1-gate expand for Patience and early pool for Hydra, so just getting an extra little bit of security so that he can go on, of course, take hatcheries and so on and so forth. I don't think we're going to be expecting anything unless he takes the gold. That's exactly.
Yeah, I was going to say.
As I say it.
I was thinking either this is a really good, an early drone scout going out to do it, but yeah, he goes and he takes the gold and he doesn't care. Now, it's not the aggressive gold. He's taking the more safer one, I would say. So I wonder where he wants to take this game. As he does it, he doesn't really care, right? The probe that's going to go back home is going to be able to see it, and there's really nothing that Patience can do about it, except for maybe sending an early zealot. But I don't even know if that would be enough.
Yeah, how do you capitalize on this? Okay, has Patience been in this situation before? He's probably running through, the things in his mind, what he could do. He's just going to get an extra scout on to make sure there is a spawning pool, and he does obviously know now that there's lanes on the map. So, it's going to be interesting to see what the response from him. He's got 2 gases thrown down. Obviously, Cybernetic scored nothing. That's out of the standard reaction. And you know what? I think we've seen Protoss players not, freak out against early golds taken. We saw Parting rather. Take a game off of Hydra in a stellar back and forth on Vonnie Research Station, in which Hydra actually took the gold the first time. So this isn't something that we're unused to seeing out of Hydra. He likes his early income as soon as he can get it.
I think a lot of games on Overgrowth have kind of made Protoss a little bit more cool and collected when it comes to the Zerg taking the gold. So, really nice micro to getting that probe safe. It might actually get hit, though. One more hit until it does die, but I think he should be all right for now with that shield regenerating. But there's a lot of responses you can actually do against a gold-taking player. But I feel like most of the responses are usually going to be macro-oriented, for the most part. Because if you try to all-in a Zerg player that is taking the gold very early, then it's almost like you're trying to all-in them when they're on whatever amount of bases, but with better income for the most part. So sometimes you just kind of wait, take another base as a Protoss player, and then that gold base will mine out a lot quicker. And you'll have a little bit of a better time in the mid-game, but you do have to be very, very worried about what they do with it.
Yeah, no matter what time you hit your all-in at, if that's going to be the case, as a Zealot finds 2 Queens laying creep at the gold base. If, say, I'm going to go ahead and all-in you as a Twilight Council's thrown down for Patience, no matter what, if as soon as you pass that point of no return, you're constantly going to be going up against a stronger economy. So if the all-in fails, it's going to even more so exponentially spiral out of control. So that's a good point on that. Hydra has taken a second hatchery in his regular natural back home as his speed's about to finish up a little bit later. But of course, he took that gold that's going to delay things just a bit until the economy starts to compensate and get back and forth. Meanwhile, a robotics base started for Patience, and also a Dark Shrine after that Twilight Council finishes. So there's the call that we were waiting for, which is how is he actually going to respond. And I bet you he's going to try and get a cancel before we see any sort of detection or ability to really stop saving that gold.
Yeah, going for that. He went for both here. That's what's a little bit more interesting to me. He took the robotics, but then he dropped down the Dark Shrine. So he opted to go for that first, the Robo, which makes me think that his follow-up is going to be maybe some kind of Immortal Sentry. But he does want to get into the economy of Hydra, and maybe Hydra will kind of slack on the detection. He hasn't put any Spore Crawlers yet. His scouting hasn't been the greatest. He does see the gas, but he will scout the Robo, and then in his mind, he will try to prepare for that. But then when the DTs come, you may forget all about the Spore Crawlers, because usually, you think about Stargate openers, and that's when you put down the Spore Crawlers. But you see a Robo, and it's right in front of you, the last thing you're thinking is to make a Spore Crawler. So this could be kind of a big mind game as well.
Yeah, I really like it too, because one thing is, you're just talking about how Hydra hasn't gotten the scout down, and typically, I like to see that 6 to 7 minute is when the tech that's going to come into the mid game play is really, there, and typically if you're Terran and you really don't know what's going on, that's when you'll, throw your scan if you have to, and if you're Zerg, you'll throw an Overlord in there to see, just to see what you can see, and unfortunately, he hasn't seen what's coming, and instead of trying to go for the gold, it looks like Patience with these 3 DTs. Okay, now he's going to get them down in this map as the Warp Prism makes its way around. He's going to actually block with these rocks, but the Lings are going to surround on them as now Hydra knows what he's up against, and the Overseer comes in, and he's going to see what's going on, detection, of course, all that stuff, but they might all get saved. They're all going to get saved in the Warp Prism, so huge save from Patience there, but this is the big thing. The deal is now Hydra knows what he's up against, and he lost, I guess, the upper hand Patience did in having ability, but all the Lings are on one side, so...
Yeah. And he can be a little bit annoying with these DTs, like... If he thinks that that's what he's up against, Hydra still has not scouted the front, by the way, so he doesn't know about the Robo. It's right there in front of his face, but I wonder if he'll try to... I mean, usually Roaches are what you would go for if you expect like a DT or a Blink Stalker like Roach Ling, but Hydra Ling will also work as well. And that seems to be what he's going to be going for, and that's going to work very well against Immortals as well, so...
yeah, we've got
I think he's all right.
A Robotics Bay coming out, though, for Patience, so... Early Colossus, 2-base Colossus, it's looking like, and Wing Hydra, if there's a nice little buffer zone, which with those sentries, of course, there's gonna be, I guess the groove's fine, but it's gonna be difficult, I think, for Hydra if Patience gets enough of a 2-base, enough of 2-base army. This Overseer is gonna try and make its way into the main. Does see the Warp Prism come out again, so he might have a read on that, but he's still not gonna see the Robotech. I don't think in front of the
Where's
the
bay? Where did the he puts
the bay was like right next to the facility, didn't it? Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, so.
Oh man, he is going to see it though. Hydra will see this and know that Patience will be going for a 2-base Colossus kind of tech. So he has to be very wary of that. Yeah. Without a Spire or a Roachborn, though, I'm a little bit worried if he doesn't hit a timing before those Colossi come out.
Yeah, just as you say that, Spire and a Roachborn go down. So, Tempo, my man, with the psychic abilities there. But Extended Thermal Lance coming out, of course, standard upgrade for Colossus, getting the range in. Groove Spine's already completed for Hydra as he gets Muscular Arguments to get the speed for his Hydras off creep. I mean, this is kind of settled in. Both players got their strategy. They know what they're going for. But the creep spread from Hydra is right up to the
It's
main,
so good, yeah. And that's a testament to that gold base, I guess, right? Like, you take that base, you save it, and then all of a sudden your creep spread is so much easier to do. And a lot better, but damn, yeah, Hydra is right there. As soon as Patience leaves his base, he's already on creep, and he's like, wow, okay, well, I guess I'll just take out a few of those tumors, but he has no idea what he could be potentially up against.
Yeah, I think this is one of those
DT trying to get some damage done.
You don't really care so much what you're up against. You care more about getting your army together. And Patience, if he's going to attack in the next 2 minutes, of course, he needs to make it work pretty well at the same time or take a third. He's going to get a nice little group of Colossus here as these Immortals start going against the static defense with some force fields that were a little stagnant. I think he needs to save those for the actual engagement that goes down. Just one Colossus taking some shield damage here. Ling's going to attack the natural a little bit, poke and see what they can get done. And he's got a little supply block there in the different type of supply block with this pylon. But, I don't know. I don't know if Patience is gonna be able to make something happen with this, because I think Hydra's got a really good handle on this. But the economy isn't really there for him. He's only on 3 bases still.
Yeah, and even like the drone to probe count is not that crazy, but you have to take into account, of course, the gold. So you do need less drones in order to saturate it. But I'm a little bit worried about the lack of sentries. There's only 3 here, and the big strength about Colossus and against Zerg is usually because of the force fields with the Colossi. So, Roach Hydra may not be the worst to go against this, but he is going to try to. This is not a good choke point, or at least for Hydra. That is not a place that he would like to attack into. It's much better favoring Patience for sure. But there are Corruptors coming here.
Corruptors coming in. We do have Blink Stalkers. We do have Blink Stalkers with the Colossi. It looks like it's going to force the engagement a little bit. Sentry's throwing down Guardian Shields. So this looks like the Roaches and Hydras and Corruptors are going to be just enough to, take out. I mean, geez, it's 168 supply to 96. This is a pretty good hold from Hydra. He just bided his time, just got his army right where he needed it to. Only Stalkers coming in to reinforce as these Hydras are going to take out these Immortals, like, super easily. Enough Roaches here. I mean, Patience can blink back, but there's just not enough here for him. So even if Hydra doesn't win this engagement, which it's looking like he's gonna, Patience is not going to be able to up that army for a long, long time.
Yeah, and it's going to continue to push on, making just enough Corruptors to deal with the Colossi, and GG will be called.
All right, lads and lasses, welcome back to Game 2 of this PvZ series between these two players. Getting right into the introductions for you, spawning in the bottom of Bounty Research Station. Representing Dead Pixels, it is Patience.
And his opponent, spawning in the northern section of the map, he is also up 1-0 in this best-of-5 series. He represents Root. It is going to be Hydra.
Come on, Beta.
Tyrannus.
What?
I think Hydra has an addiction here.
Oh my god, dude,
girls.
this guy's doing it all. I mean, if it works, you know.
He doesn't care, man. He'll just take it.
No, he doesn't. I mean, and not only that, he takes a gas. He doesn't even go for a spawning pool, you know. So it's if Patience were to get funky here, it would be the absolute worst thing possible. But he's not gonna, obviously, because he's got his Nexus back home. So Patience checking the natural and finding nothing, and probably gonna go check this. I mean, the most common reaction will be, okay, I want to check down here. Little probe is doing his job, scouting around. Okay, it's not there. Where do I go? I'm going to go right back into the main, because now I think he's doing some one base stuff. Well, where's the tech?
It almost seems like a 14-14 or something, but the timing of the pool is like, wait, that's awkward. Wait a minute. You have to be. Especially after last game, too.
No.
Now
Sherlock drones. Sherlock drones. He's like, by the power of induction.
And he didn't?
Yeah.
Did he drop a forge, actually? No. He knows.
He sees it. So
some players do that too, by the way. Yeah.
So just throw down a forge and cannon.
And go, yeah. Usually against like a 3S before pool, but this is not a 3S before pool. Just a very wonky opening once again from Hydra. And it even seems like there's not much that Patience can do to punish it. Like, I don't know what he could do that would
the thing is,
make Hydra kind of like shaking his boots, right?
Yeah, because Vani's such a big map. Not in terms of like it's so far away. I mean, it's decently far away because it's long and narrow, but there's so much room for these lings to get around. So, you know, speed is not decently, you know, late. So he's gonna have speed lings fairly quickly to be able to cover that distance. I mean, there's nothing faster. So what are you gonna do? Like push with sentries and zealots? Like, I mean,
yeah,
it just seems way more risky than, you know, in order to stop a gold.
I think the only real thing you could do would be like a cannon rush, and then Hydra would not be able to pull the drones, but he didn't open with the forge. He opened up with the gateway, and he has no way to do it. He's chrono boosting out a stalker, that one that just came out. There is a sentry coming on the way as well, and now, you know, the ball is in Patience's court. Like, is he going to try to take an earlier third, perhaps, or is he going to try to hit another timing like he did last time? He wasn't successful the first time, you know, so
yeah,
he definitely has to keep that in the back of his head.
No, I really like the play out of Hydra because he's kind of, you know, he's game up, right? He's got a game in hand, so he's basically saying, you know, as Hydra also gets a full scout, by the way, he's saying, you know, I'm going to force your hand, and what we saw, at least in Parting, even though he lost that match, is as he was able to get the creep out. Think about what his fourth is now. He's taken his third at the natural third position, and so his fourth is going to be his natural, which is
right
like
inside of his base. Yep.
Yeah, the safest of all safe places on this map right now. So, you know, if we look back home, like he's just doing all the stuff that if you let Azuric, if you were to tell Azuric, hey, do you want a gold base and your second, which is supposed to be your third, at 630, fully saturated? They'd be like, where do I sign up? And oh, by the way, it's Patience. Like, come on.
Yeah, so definitely setting himself up for that mid-game really nicely. And Patience is going to go ahead and I wonder what he wants to do. He's on it's 3 gateways that are on the way. He has +1, 2, but he's on 4 gas, which is what interests me a bit more. Haven't really seen any tech, but the amount of gas that he's on is pretty heavy for a techless opener, per se. So maybe it will be like a sentry expand or something? I don't know.
I mean, like, you know, we all know what he wants to do, which is take a third, as he's just done that. I mean, I didn't know that until he did it, but of course I'm going to say that. You know, 3 sentries here. The thing is he's going to have to waste some sentry energy here. He might get a cancel in the third. There's a lot of lings here.
There's not a lot of units here for Patience.
Right? He gets a cancel in the third, and that's just enough. And he didn't overproduce lings to do that, you know, and the timing might give him just enough breathing space. And he knows what he's up against, too. Hydra's had really good map control, and if you look at any sort of warp prism that would go across the map, like he's got a Xel'Naga Watchtower, he's got Overlords to the left and right, and he just canceled the third. He knows the timing of the third. So, you know, if you're a professional StarCraft 2 player, like you have an absolute perfect sense of what's going on right now with that information.
I know. And I think this is the kind of response that I typically would expect from a Protoss that has played against a lot of gold-basing Zergs, I guess. Getting the third base, getting a macro lead, or at least maybe not a lead, but getting a macro position. Vani Research Station is a little bit different, though, because you pointed out the fact that that fourth base is literally right inside of his base for Hydra. So in most cases, you would kind of 3-base versus 3-base against the Zerg and then kind of outproduce them over time as their gold base would run out of minerals. But it's a little bit different here on Vani, as he does have that base so safe. So the only way to get to it really is like through Warp Prism, perhaps. And I don't know. We saw him do it last game with DTs, but didn't really utilize it fully.
Yeah, and Hydra already getting his Infestation Pit almost finished. You know, Blink on the way, +2 attack, and a Robo. 5 gateways getting thrown down for Patience, you know. Lings are going to poke around. They're going to see it. Of course, they're going to see the wall that was made at the third, and Force Field's going down, trapping a little bit of Lings here for their money. But you know, I think he's got a pretty good read of what's going on with those Lings. Just making a couple more, getting them on the map, just making sure he has map control. And back home, he's getting +1 missile attacks and just more drones. And there's the big tech switch, not switch, I guess you could say. The progression is just 11 roaches going to pop for Hydra. That's what he's choosing to go with.
Yeah, he hasn't dropped the Hydra Den just yet, so I think the Infestation Pit usually would be for the Hive. And keep in mind, I think, if I'm not mistaken, that we are here on the patch where the Swarm hosts are not the way that they used to be. Right?
Yeah.
Like they have the different
flying
function. Yeah. So going straight into Swarm host would have been what I thought that he would do, but you think about it now, you can't really do that, and they're just not the same that they were. They're not the same as they were. And I think going up to Hive, if he drops a Hydra Den,
oh my god! Oh, he's doing it! He's getting flying locusts.
He's gonna do it. Okay,
he's doing it.
All right, I'm intrigued.
No, I mean, like, I'm totally following you, right? Nobody don't play this. Come on, we don't know what it is. Hydra. This man has a family.
Yeah. Well, they do a lot more DPS, you know, the Swarm hosts do nowadays. And if you get the Flying Locust, you can actually do a lot of harassment. Oh, the Force Field's going down, trapping these Lings inside of a last case of emotion. They won't be able to go anywhere, and they're all gonna die. But that base that used to be so safe here for Patience doesn't have any cannons yet. He can use the Flying Locust in order to harass it, so that could be really nice. I feel like that's a hard to defend base if you're not expecting this.
Yeah, this is so weird. I mean, it's gonna be great because we've never seen it before. So you and I are gonna be like kids at Christmas. She's like, "What are we gonna get?"
Yeah,
Timmy,
exactly.
What's in the wrapping? Well,
what did you get?
It looks like a bike, Timmy.
Looks like a freaking Flying Locust. Hey,
Roach is gonna make their way into the third here, trying to clean up some stuff. Not really getting too much done, and I think with the they're gonna get segmented out here pretty good with the blink forward and the force fields that are eventually gonna come for the sentries. All those roaches are gonna die basically for free. Is Hydra cleaning up supply here? He's not close to 200. I mean, more now Vipers and more Lings on the way, as well as the Spire about to finish up, +2 missile attacks. You know, here come the Storm hosts, and they're doing exactly what you said. They're just gonna kind of shell.
He's gonna do it.
Yeah.
Yep. He's gonna be able to get some good damage here.
The Storm hosts just
there's nothing there.
Look,
I know. I love seeing them being so quick.
They're like little crabs.
I don't know if he knows how to use them though. He's like kind of confused at the moment.
How do I deploy them? How do you deploy them?
You hit C and then you click in the direction you want to do it. So it used to be where you just rallied them. Come on, there you go.
Wait. Oh yeah.
There they go.
Oh,
look at that. Then they're gonna land on the Nexus. They might even just target the Nexus straight up.
Wow. That is
look
going
how fast
down.
they shoot.
Oh
wow.
Okay, and
there you go.
Holy cow, he's going, or the probes rather.
Well, the Swarm hosts are gonna get caught.
Oh my god, and they're all gonna die now. Oh my god, that was not good. That's not what we want to see. What's the up? We've got a greater Spire going up. These Lings are going to force out a lot of force fields and actually be able to get some damage done on the top of these Stalkers. Those are a little late from Patience. 2 Colossi late to the party. Viper's going to come in and try and get some abducts. Those are actually pretty low Colossi. They're both going to go down.
Whoa!
Great Storm on top
and
of
it goes.
Though. Yo, Hydra's looking really good.
Yeah, he got a free Nexus pretty much, but he did lose those Swarm hosts. Didn't have to. And he's going to go right into Broodlords. 12 Corruptors are on the way. Oh my god. Yeah, the gas income is really hurting here for Patience. Yeah. He's starting to hurt
Hydra's
there.
Hydra's just gonna get some more in there on top of the probes. That's just so cool.
Wow.
And you know, what's the responses? And there is a 5th being taken for Hydra, but it's being harassed currently, I think, by Zealots in the top left of the map. But he's gonna come back and defend that. And once he defends here and knows that there's a War Prism out of the map, I have to deal with that. You know, he's got Crufters. You know, he knows what he's doing.
Yep. It's a 1-1 Ling attack, too. I mean, he has a 1-1 on his Lings, so dealing with these drops is so much easier in order to deal with the Zealots when you do have the 1-1. Well, I guess 2-2 would be better, but they really help you
Hold on, Tempo.
deal with the counterattacks.
Tempo, how much better would 2-2 be than 1-1? How much? I'm not following you on that one.
Just maybe 2 times better.
And then the 3-3, how does that factor in?
Whoa. You know what else 1-1 works against? Or works with, at least. And 2-2.
The Broodlings.
These Broodlords. The Broodlings are going to land in. They're going to have some upgraded...
We've got 11 of them, too. Stalker's getting surrounded. A lot of Lings getting on top. The force fields, but they're segmenting out 5 of their own population. They go down the storms, but on roaches, and they're not doing too well. G called. We didn't even see the Broodlords. Wow, Hydra.
Holy moly. Hydra's looking like on another level. Right, welcome back everybody to the ASL Prime League. This is the playoffs. We are here in Season 4, and Game 3 is where we are at here, and this guy has a tough road ahead of him as he is down 0-2 for now. Representing Dead Pixels, it is going to be the pink Protoss player, Patience.
Yeah, tough road against this guy, spawning a top right. Our red Zerg player representing Root Gaming, currently up 2-0 against his Protoss foe. It is Hydra.
Oh my goodness.
We were debating
what
Hydra
Patience
was
would
going to do, right? Well, both of them. And we said, Hydra's got to go ahead and take the gold. He needs to do that again, right? But this time, early gas spawning pool. So are we gonna see some like 1-base wreckage out of this red guy?
It looks like it here. Hydra maybe expecting Patience to open up with, I don't know, because if he expected like a Forge opener, then he wouldn't go for a 14-14. So maybe expecting Patience to go for like a Nexus first or something like that. But Patience is actually gonna go for a 1-base style, at least what it looks like so far. Even though he only has 2 in the gas, maybe he will get his expansion, but it will be a tech opener, as he's already mining from 2. But Hydra's going for a 14-14, and he's already pulled out of the gas. He's going to go for the speed.
Yeah, I mean, this Protoss player, he's not waiting around. He's not being very patient, trying to get to the root cause of the problem here. Hydra is going to go ahead and get that speed like he talked about and get his queens out so he can hit them injects. But both players, pretty comfortable to be the 1-base players right now. Pretty much exact opposite of what we've seen in the first 2 games. Well, there you go.
And this is a game that Patience hasn't scouted either. He doesn't know that it's going to be a 14-14. For all he knows, Hydra went for like a 3-ass before a pool at the gold again. But if that's what he's thinking and he's going to go off of that, no information, he's going to be in for a bit of a surprise. And I don't think this Nexus is going to be able to survive, because the wall is definitely not going to finish in time. How many Lings do you think Hydra goes for here? Does he just...
he's still making 2 at a time. I mean, he's got about 8 across the map right now, and 10, 12 more on the way. He's gonna be able to cancel that for sure, even though he's got a Mothership Core out for the Protoss player. And at that point, it's like Patience was expecting, probably a bit more fairly standard game as he's shown us in his playstyle. He's not even scouting, so Hydra's gonna be able to cancel the second, actually try and get up into the main. And pylon block going down. There's a sentry there, but now he's not even gonna try and cancel the natural. He's gonna go right for the pylon, pulling away the Lings that are getting targeted by the Mothership Core pretty well. Gonna be able to take out that pylon and then transfer his Lings over to the natural, see if he can cancel the natural. And this is gonna be, he puts Patience at a disadvantage right off the bat, supply blocking him for a short amount of time. He's gonna let the Nexus finish, and then he's probably gonna get a 9 energy until a photon overcharge. So he's gonna be able to shoo away these Lings just yet. And he's actually gonna try and trap him. He wants to make sure that he pays a little bit, but loses a probe in the process. But Hydra back home is taking a 3rd.
Yeah, and it's not a gold either. So that is something new for this series, at least. The thing that I'm very interested in is that he didn't go for the Nexus fully, or he wanted to go into the main, I believe, but Patience reacted so fast and was able to get that pylon wall, even canceling one of those pylons. Now Hydra trying to get something done here, and with Patience being able to keep this base, I think he's going to be alright. Even though Hydra is going for a third base, he didn't get the damage that he wanted to get done just with that attack, I don't think. But he did get a few, I think, was a pylon and some probes.
Yeah, he got a pylon, some probes, you know, just the tiniest of supply blocks. He does have Lings, of course, now on the map that are going to be able to get a little gauge of the timing, try and at least sacrifice themselves to get inside, see if they can get a scout off. There's a hallucinated Phoenix making its way across the map, going to get a good read on what's going on. Of course, going to see that third hatchery thrown down for his opponent, get a read on a bit of the gas timings, make note that there is no Roach Warren as of yet. And you know, this is really just going to, I think, make Patience feel a little bit more at ease. He's dealt with some craziness the past 2 games. He actually sees the Roach Warren and he sees the timing, so that's a massive pickup for him because now he knows not only the economy but the tech route, which, you know, it's of course he's going to go roaches, but it's not just what he's doing, it's when he's doing it, and that is pretty key.
Exactly.
He knows now how much time he's got until there is any sort of unsurmountable mass of roaches on the map that he wouldn't be able to deal with, so he knows when he can make a push and when he can't.
And I think the greatest part about it here for Patience is that he was able to start his Robo before that. So he was going to go Robo anyway, and then he scouts and he sees the Roach Warren coming, and he's like, alright, perfect, right? I think he even was able to see the lair timing. Oh no, he didn't go into the main. So that does worry me a little bit here. Maybe just assuming it, but he doesn't know about the lair timing. So that could be a little bit of not an issue, but just a thing where it's like, if you see a hatchery, then you're like, oh, he's going to do like some crazy roachling all in, but you don't usually will see that anymore. But I think it just would be nice to see, like, if the lair was already done.
Yeah,
when he pulled out of gas, if he went back in. Oh, he will find it now, though.
What is Patience doing, though? Of course, he gets a hallucinated Phoenix in there, but this is just a bunch of sentries. This is just a Mothership Core and a bunch of sentries, and like, I don't know if that's gonna cut it, Patience. Like, you know, I was kind of joking when I said that parting.
Look at the gateways.
200 sentries. He does have the Immortal coming out. You know, forward pylons in an okay area, but it's gonna actually get picked up by the Zerg player. So,
but it's seven gateways here with +1. Hydra is droning up. He's making 12 right now. If he makes any more drones, he's gonna be in a lot of trouble. Getting that Hydra Den is exactly what he needs. But this timing, if it hits in time, he's gonna be in the best position of. This is the best time to hit for Patience. But where are the Immortals? They haven't made their way across the map just yet. So the more time that Hydra will have, then the better off he's going to be getting those Hydras out, and also getting the creep. He needs to spread the creep out at this third. This is a beautiful position for a Protoss player to push in when there's no creep there.
Yeah, lots of sentries, 2 Immortals. We're getting 1 more on the way. +1 attacks, just going to finish right up around the 10-minute mark. A little bit later, you know, this is shaping up to be a pretty damn good timing that he's hitting here. Lings aren't going to be able to do super well, but of course, taking out the early forward pylon, going to be a pretty big pickup here. There are more on the way, but he scouts that as well. Doesn't manage to save, wastes 5 force fields. I mean, he's going to get 5
force fields.
I mean, he's got a lot of sentries though, but of course, that's not what you want to do in an early engagement. I think being a little wasteful there, trying to save, that wasn't going to happen anyway. 5 Stalkers and a Warp Prison making its way across the map right now. He might lose an Immortal. That would be massive, but you know, forces 3 more force fields. And I mean, if you can ask the Zerg player, you know, aside from knowing perfectly what's going to happen, if you can force out 8 force fields, that's not a bad start at all.
It's really good, yeah. And the fact that he's buying time to get his Hydras out, I guess one thing to kind of nitpick is that he didn't kill the rocks here, Hydra, so that he can't set up a flank. We've seen this get dealt with the flank, but there's not going to be any flank here, and Patience is going to be able to push in with no creep spread and no flank. I think this is the best thing that he could ask for, and he's going to try to make it happen. Hallucinating one of those Colossi, going to get a time warp out, and the force fields are good. But this is a lot of units out of Patience, man. He's going in here. He does have +1 already, but so does Hydra. This is actually a really great position here for Patience, even though he is going up against Hydras here.
Yeah, 2 Guardian Shields going down right at the beginning, just getting a little bit of extra oomph against the Hydras. A lot of force fields going down, but now how much would those 8 force fields be worth in their weight in gold especially? More Zealots coming in to reinforce from the 4 pylons, only 1 Immortal left over, and Hydras do exceptionally well against them. More force fields going down, but only Stalkers against this force, and it looks like Root Hydra's held. Pulling drones against the sentries even, getting them. That's GG called, and Root Hydra taking game 3. And it's just about as convincing an Immortal Sentry hold as I have seen as of late. That was fine. That was perfect.
It really was, man.